Well taken. Now, a frontline global news medium, Bloomberg, just published a story highlighting, as follows, and I quote: Nigerian politician Peter Obi will run for president in the upcoming January 2027 elections. This decision will likely lead to a further fragmentation of the opposition against incumbent Bola Tinubu. Summary: we're going back to status quo of what happened in 2023. These individuals will square off against each other.
Yes.
How do you, what's your take on Peter Obi's final entry into the race now?
Well, it is beautiful that an internationally recognized media house has said this, because if it is us in Nigeria that made this comment, the Obi's toxic followers and his street urchins will start chuttering their mouths.
Why do you like to take issues with Obidients?
Because I'm sorry to say it, most of them are senseless. Because if they had any sense, and I mean it, because what Bloomberg said is absolutely correct. I remember I said that whoever leaves the coalition is working for Tinubu. Am I also in charge of Bloomberg? The reason I said it is that is either you're working for Tinubu directly, in other words, you're in APC, or you're working for Tinubu indirectly. Because when you divide the votes of the coalition and the opposition, you're still making Tinubu to be better placed to win. That's what Bloomberg said. Now, nobody forced you, Peter Obi, to enter into ADC. You entered on your own. And 1 week to the end of the closure of the time, you left. And you gave the reason. What reason did you give? You can't compete in primary. And you want to be a politician. And you can't compete in primary. You want to be the president of a challenged country. And you're running away from challenges. Let me tell you, the truth is that in 2027, anybody voting any vote whatsoever to Peter Obi, you're voting for Tinubu. And don't say that I didn't tell you. And I will give you an example with Enugu State. In Enugu State, we worked very hard in 2023 for Peter Obi. And from the presidency down to the House of Assembly, we won all our elections under Labour Party. I believe that Peter Obi won. I believe that the governor, Chijioke Edoga, that ran under Labour Party in Enugu State, I believe he won. I believe that our senator won. I believe that our House of Representative person won. I believe that the House of Assembly won. And all of them won under Labour Party. So they won because we voted for Peter Obi and because we voted because of Peter Obi. Today, all of them are members of APC. All, without exception. We lost our senator. The House of Assembly member we voted for has joined APC. The House of Representative member we voted for under Labour and because of Peter Obi has joined APC. The gubernatorial candidate, I believe he was rigged out. He himself that was rigged out has joined APC. Card carrying member. And they have given them the tickets in APC to run against us and against Peter Obi. Then Tinubu himself, APC. So the governor now sitting is now APC. So I went to vote 2023, believing I'm voting for Peter Obi. I'm believing I'm voting because of it in Enugu State. And today, all my votes now, APC has been the beneficiary of all my votes, all my suffering. APC owns it now. So I have now voted indirectly for APC without knowing and without my consent because of Peter Obi. Now again, the people that are following Peter Obi now in Enugu State, I'm giving Enugu State because that is the one I can tell you the evidence. Are the people that were in APC and PDP in 2020 that fought us. So they are the ones now following Peter Obi. For us now to vote for them again in the name of Peter Obi. So what it means is that because Peter Obi will not win the presidential election because it's deja vu, like the Bloomberg now has pointed out. If Peter Obi goes to run now, assuming that those ones following him now, you vote because of Peter Obi and they win. That means you have voted for APC members. This one is real APC members and PDP members, 2023. And that means they will also defect to whichever one is the ruling party after the election. And then you have voted again for APC or another party without your consent. So Peter Obi presently considered is working for Tinubu and working for APC. Now, let's look at his, because he chose a vice president who said derogatory statements about Peter Obi, who made derogatory statements about Ndibo in 2023. So it doesn't matter for Peter Obi. And then you think in 2023 he will be working for you. Sorry. Okonkwo just launched his presidential bid for 2031 on May 3rd in the name of being a member of NDC. Was it not the aide of the governor that said that Okonkwo was sent to destabilize and scatter the opposition? Okonkwo is now telling his people they cannot even protest against insecurity, against Tinubu's government. So if a man believes you cannot even protest against insecurity, how would he protest against any election rigging? Assuming NDC even wins and they rigged it against them. It is now that Peter Obi has been trapped. NDC is Tinubu and APC's political party. Can't you see that they were not to be registered until I heard, allegedly, because I heard it from the Obidients' mouth, that there was a meeting between Sierraka Dixon and Tinubu. And then they registered NDC. Who is NDC serving? And when they registered NDC, what happened? INEC said they are not qualified to be registered. And they went to court. That's why initially you will see national chairman by court order, national secretary. A party that has not been existing, meaning INEC was compelled by court to register them. And you're talking about NDC. And you know what? They said, Peter Obi said they were invited by NDC. Meaning NDC was registered to lure him. And then he ran with it. Now he has entered their trap. I can tell you without mentioning words, NDC is the greatest fraud that has happened. Those people that left ADC in my state, Enugu state, and went to NDC, you know what they called me to tell me after the primary? They said those that wanted to be House of Rep member, after paying their fees, they were told they were going to pay a bribe of 10 million naira. And they paid. Those that wanted to be senators were told they would pay 20 million. And they had to pay. And after that, they still collected their money and failed them. I don't need to tell you.
Real aspirants said this.
Aspirants said this to me directly.
Real aspirants under NDC said
that has contested.
And then they after collecting
their money. Yes.
They paid the stipulated fees.
Yes.
They paid bribes.
Paid bribes into the accounts that they were given in NDC.
Wow. And they were still denied the tickets.
They were still denied the tickets. Some of them are pleading to come back to ADC for us. I told people, after the primary, you will know whether what I'm saying is true or not. So it is a criminal enterprise. Okay. What about what my own sister, Aisha, said and wrote publicly? He said they used indirect primary as delegate primary to conduct against the Electoral Act. This was in her own letter. He said they went to do election through the back door, through the back room, and that she was denied the ticket unfairly. Look at that. But he said because of Peter Obi, she will remain. I wish Peter Obi will have the same spirit to say that because of his own followers, he would have remained in ADC to secure their welfare.